So we are live at 10:01 a.m. on Tuesday, May 7th, 2024. Some people say 2024. I say 2024.
2024. Or, I mean, it could be 3024, and this is all a construct. Looks like no comprehension of space and time. But
I just cracked open a cold one.
let me check out the bum music. See what we got.
Oh, you can actually put it on. It's good stuff. Put it on. This is a nice cold Dr. Pepper coconut.
Yeah, this one had like a Western. Like in DeWolf, it showed like a little Western, like high Western kind of logo. But to me, this reminds me of that movie like Snatch, or the Guy Ritchie movies.
Wasn't it Chevy Chase? No.
Yeah, it has like that flute riff. Yeah. Yeah. Like Snatch or Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
It reminds me of like a cop movie, a 70s cop.
I turned into some funk. Like the flute makes me think of Guy Ritchie.
I'm gonna turn this down so it doesn't play forever.
Yeah. All right, well, Dutch Chattahoochee, what's up, brother?
Same old shit.
What hats I got going here? Should I go Spos, Rangers, Cubbies?
That will forever be there.
They'll forever be there. ATG hat, Northwood.
What was I gonna say?
Tigres de San Antonio today.
Oh shit, they actually have hats too, damn.
Dude, they give me free swag every time I fucking go.
Yeah. It's a nice hat.
Yeah, it's a good trucker.
I like the
good
logo.
Trucker cap, yeah.
I don't think you can go wrong with a nice trucker hat, right?
Yeah, make a good trucker cap.
Never go wrong.
Promo and shit. Everybody wants the mesh so our fat heads can breathe. What you got on tap, buddy?
Well, for me, two things. I want to, it's been discussed a million times, but we haven't discussed it. Is the Wade Boggs, over cross-country beer flight where he apparently drank 107 beers or some shit?
I think we have, but I think it's worth revisiting on a fucking regular
There's so much
basis.
shit I'm sure we have revisited a million times. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But that's the first thing. And then the second thing, I want to bring up 5 past Texas Rangers.
Okay, nice. Go some Ranger action.
Some of them, were only dominant a couple years, and some of them may not have been dominant at all, but I remember them for a moment that made me like, that was cool.
Okay.
One of the players, I won't say who it is, but I was at the game and he hit like 3 home runs in one game, so that was kind of cool. He wasn't a great player overall.
Lee Stevens?
No.
Okay.
He was decent. He was a serviceable MLB player, but anyway. Yeah, so those are my 2 things.
Rays, I got the standings over here. I guess we'll cover that.
The Rays had a great weekend against the Mets. Our new City Connects, we unveiled those and played.
Skateboard. So I love it.
We've wore them 4 days, I think, in a row now. Haven't lost, so 4-0. The Mets
500
series,
ball club.
Huh?
Your 500 ball club.
Yeah, we swept the Mets, so it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday game. So that kind of helped us get back to.
If I'm reading this right, your run differential sucks, but that's your bullpen. So
yeah, dude, we were up, I think 9-3 was against the Mets. Bullpen came in, gave up fucking runs like always, and it was like 9-7 or 9-8. I'm like, fuck, we're gonna lose. But the good thing is, Randy Arozarena finally hit a home run on Randy Lane night. By the way,
nice.
So that was cool.
Oh man, yeah, them Tampa Bay Rays. That's good shit right there. I'm excited that you're gonna do some Rangers talk. Yeah,
man. Like I say, grew up in Dallas, so I've seen shitty years, I've seen shitty players, I've seen great players, great years. Huh?
Oh, go ahead.
What are you gonna say?
I was saying you got a dope hoodie and a dope hat on. Tell everybody about the hat.
Got my hat and I got my. This was like when I bought the I guess whatever you call it, the deluxe edition of MLB The Show this year.
Yeah.
Came with a nice little Negro League hat.
Yeah. That's good shit.
I like it. It's cool. I like the color. It's like not a white, but it's kind of like a cream kind of looking color.
Yeah.
With a navy blue bill. And I never understood why hats always have things on the underbill because you don't see it because I'm not going to wear my bill flipped up. So,
yeah.
But it's still a cool design, no doubt. And it's a New Era hat, so you know it's quality. But yeah, that's what's up.
That's a sick hat right there. For my segments, one will be a baseball card segment. Ooh. Because for the daycare where Jay and Teddy go, they're having like an auction. We have this spring fling. And it's like you're supposed to go out to like restaurants to get people to donate dinners and like missions tickets to the game, Spurs tickets. You're supposed to find shit to donate so people could bid on it. But because I'm so disorganized, I didn't do any of that. So Els has some paintings that she's going to put in the auction. And then I was like, I have 1 million baseball cards, so might as well make like a bundles of 10 cool cards so they're not totally worthless. And pick out some cards. No, I'm not going to pick out all the cards today, but I'm going to go through some baseball cards. That's one segment. Other segment is just running through some team advanced stats, pitching and offense, along with the standings, just kind of run around the league. And then maybe my last outro is I got to I'm going to do the tweet. Try to do the tweet while we're doing the show because this is Tuesday. People see it later, but trying to do the Spaces thing tonight. Tuesday night baseball. I don't know. Dodgers are playing the Jazz. Like, cause I can't get on until I put all the kids to sleep, which is a fucking nightmare.
I know I gotta get up early tomorrow, so I'm not sure how long I'll be able to get on.
So everybody should be a host. I don't know how to do that, but I'm just like, you need to be a host so you can start the thing and talk baseball. It's mainly because I want to do it because we talked to Jake Whalen, who can't make it. He's out in the woods. We're going to have a little competition to see who can guess what animal he's trying to capture. MILB Billy's out in the woods on duty, so he's not going to be in. But Bonnie and Mo and like ATG crew guys will be in there. You just don't get to talk to them. You don't ever get on the phone with them that much. Like, I see their shit. Maybe you do. But I talked to Bonnie the other day just for the interview. But it's a nice way to connect people. It's like to me, it's like a conference call.
I text Bonnie sometimes, but it's always I just text some random stupid funny shit.
Yeah, so like maybe if like Bill Yard gets in or like people get in and chime in and give everybody just like, that's what I'm thinking about this week, and somebody else can go, well, I'm working on some drywall and, you know, my dog bit me in the leg and, you know, the Yankees are awesome or whatever people want to talk about, the next dude up and just like listen to people talk. So there's no real
format.
I don't want to like have ownership or police it too hard. I just want to have people have a good time and let us hear each other, and maybe it's a way to help people build. Like if you don't know about Trey Roberts and State of the Nation and ATG, it's like maybe other people like cross pollinate. It's like, oh dang, I didn't know MLB Billy had all this stuff. I mean, most people know about that, but I mean, it might be because somebody maybe comes in the room and you're like, I didn't know about that guy. Who is that guy? And you find their channel. I don't know.
I will say, for the most part, I'm about the same person on the podcast as I am on there in real life, but I would say in real life I'm a little bit more obnoxious and loud, I would say.
Yeah. But there's baseball on Tuesday, so people can. It's a night where I know there should be something on ESPN Plus, and people can chime in. But that's pretty much my segments.
Sounds cool. It'd be cool to talk to somebody outside of YouTube. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Twitter Spaces, text's always a problem. Sound's always a problem. But everybody's gonna always have their cell phone. And, Spaces, you just click like you would on a tweet, and then you can go in these rooms and listen. So it seems simple, like Zoom and getting everybody in there and getting everybody on the laptop and your shit's going out. It just seems like Spaces is just as easy as a phone call, honestly.
Well, with Zoom, the audio, like you said, cuts in and out sometimes.
Yeah, you got to have the software and the fucking invite and the code and let them into the room. The host is waiting to let you. Like, it's all kinds of shit. I just feel like Spaces, I just want to try it tonight for the greater underground baseball community to see if people dig it. But like I said, it could be a fail. That's how I live my life. It's
a test run for sure.
Test run for Tuesday night.
Yeah, I don't know what time I have to get up in the morning, but I'm sure it's early.
Well, you want to kick it off? Who you want to go first? You want to flip a coin like the Super Bowl?
Let's do that.
Okay.
We'll flip a coin.
Flip a wheel.
Here's a sticker.
Wheel?
I got a 3BGB sticker.
Oh, okay.
I can throw it on the ground if it lands on this side or on the back side.
Okay, you call it.
I'm gonna say green side with the logo. It's a 3BGB sticker as I'm pointing it to the camera over there.
3BGB sticker up. You go first.
I call green side up.
Okay.
And I'm gonna let it go to the ground.
Give it a flip.
Green side up.
Damn. All right, dude, kick it off, buddy.
All right, should we stop this so we don't go over because we only have 15 minutes left?
Well, I don't know. Let's probably get one of your segments in 15 minutes.
Yeah, this won't take very long. All right, so I want to do the Wade Boggs thing first.
Yeah, hey, yeah.
So, as everybody knows who follows baseball, they know the legend of Wade Boggs. Apparently,
Yes.
cross-country flight. So, there's different, like, amounts that are
Oh, do
thrown.
you want some different bump music for your Boggs episode? You should bump in with a different number. No?
Different number?
Yeah, we loaded all those dope DeWolf songs. You can have a different bumper for each segment.
All right, let me throw some tunes in here. I'm going to pick
Boggs segment.
I'm going to pick number 5.
All right, good to go. Let me get...
All right. I think that's a perfect tune for Wade Boggs.
Perfect tune for Boggs. Hammering beers. Do we know what kind of beer it was?
Yes.
We do? That's awesome. You have this
Apparently, it
historical-
was Miller Lite. So, there's been different throughout the years. There's been different numbers thrown out. People say it's anywhere between 40 and 60. There were some that I read that there was like 70 or so. But according to Wade Boggs himself, it's 107.
Sounds right.
Right?
It's a light beer.
Granted, it's a light beer, but 107 is still a shit ton of
It's
beer.
amazing.
In how many hours? But
I
I
want
don't
to say
know.
I did like 20. I think I did. I was trying to like see how many PBRs I could drink without pissing. I don't know. I don't think I got to 20. I think I got to the teens though.
Okay, so you know the episode of Sunny Philadelphia where Wade Boggs was on it.
Yeah.
He declared on that episode, I guess it was a cameo, right? And he said 107 was how much he drank. But I don't know, dude. Like, I drink Miller Lite, and I think anybody, even if they're an alcoholic, if they drink 107 beers, they'd be dead. Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I think you'd be dead.
I don't think, even when I was an alcoholic, I don't think I could have knocked back 107 beers on a cross-country flight. And I couldn't find how many hours it was. But wasn't it from, like, California to, like, Boston or something?
Yeah, it would make sense if you were going from California to Boston because that's going to be your longest MLB flight. And you lose time because you're going east. If you're going Boston to California, because the Sunny and Philadelphia guys were going west. They were going from Philly to California
Yeah.
in the episode.
Yeah.
But that's a faster flight because the Earth is turning into you like a router, like a wood router, because everything's woodworking for me now. It's like turning into the router bit. So you're closing that distance as the Earth and you're flying over it. So if Boggs had to give him the most time to drink would be Cali back to Boston. And that's a pretty long flight.
And
That's probably like 6 hours.
and they played the Mariners that's the following game. He went out and went 3 for 5.
Yeah, he's 3 for 5 in his sleep.
Hello, Charlie.
Oh, shit! You're the ghost of Wade Boggs!
I'm not a ghost, Charlie. You're just hallucinating. You had over 30 beers, dude.
You did? Nice, man.
You know your friend Mac is right.
Oh, yeah?
I didn't win 5 batting titles because it was fun.
Right.
I won it because I wanted to be the best. Do you see what I'm saying?
Nah, not really, man.
There's nothing more fun than winning. So come on, drink up. I'll have one with you.
Nice. Let's do it,
All
Boggs.
right.
Let's drink.
Cheers.
Now, do I believe it's 107? Absolutely not. Do I believe 40 between 60? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Because I've seen people crush 30 light beers.
yeah.
So 40 between 60, I could see.
Yeah, I mean, it's legendary, that there's just the story. So
That's a great
lore,
story.
you know, it's call like Babe Ruth calling a shot. Anything you kind of that is out there now is just whether it's true or not, just make it grander, bigger, elaborate, embellish. It's all greatness that you're known for hammering tons of beers on a flight as an MLBer. The second thing is 27, that's a lot of beers, but it sounds like it would have been more than that. So if we're throwing a 7 on it, like 37, 47, any of those numbers above 27, it's pretty impressive. That's just pretty impressive. And like you can do that and then go 0 for 5 the next day, but to go 3 for 5 the next day, just crushing beers on a flight, that's great. And Wade Boggs was back in the era of when people gave a shit it was like Sabre might have been happening in Oakland with Billy Beane, but that's when batting average was king. You open the newspaper,
Of course,
look for
yeah.
batting average, like who's on top of the league, always Boggs. Like Boggs is like that guy can just hit better than everybody. Just you can't get one by him.
I miss the day. I miss the days where average, home runs, and RBIs. Those were the three.
That was it. That was all your.
That's when people gave a shit about. Now it's like all these other stats, which makes sense, but sometimes it's a little much. You know what I'm saying?
I'm kind of pro Sabre, but I'm going to shit on it a little bit today.
That's fine.
Because I took my little Sabre nerd courses, and there's a whole underlying simmering baseball nerd hate. I don't know if you saw my tweet, but I think he's the analytics guy for the Marlins. And behind the Erez trade that everybody's shitting on these guys was like, this dude's never played baseball. He has no pulse for the game. He has no feel for the game. His feel for the game is shit. And he's like, they're analytics guys. Like, dude, that's not what you pay analytics guys for. You pay them for looking at the numbers. But you got to have the mix in the match. That's why dudes like Chris Young and these other GMs they have both. They have the brains and they have a feel for the game.
Your analytics tell you that 107 beers gets you fucking 3 for 5?
Yeah, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can be a sabermetrician, but I can also go to a game without any stat sheets and be like, Wade Boggs is fucking awesome. You should probably have him on your team. Give him a contract. That kind of stuff. I don't need sabermetrics to tell me you need to sign Mookie Betts. Like, the Dodgers are signing dudes that you didn't need sabermetrics for. You just needed a big checkbook to get Ohtani. You need a big checkbook to get Betts. You could see. Anyway, I digress. But Miller Lite is missed opportunity for marketing.
There's a quote here that I found.
Okay.
I guess his former teammate Brian Rose.
Yeah.
He said that he was impressed with Boggs' hitting, but was more impressed with his drinking prowess. Because he said, I guess because apparently there was a time when they were on a flight, and it was an hour-long flight, and the who's the lady or the man or whatever that comes by?
The steward or stewardess?
So they came by, and they gave him a case of beer, and he slid under his seat. He's like, I got an hour flight. I'm going to drink.
Yeah.
And then there was this other time where Brian Rose was talking to Wade Boggs, and he's like, Wade Boggs was like, I don't get drunk unless I've had a case and a half.
It's probably true. Tolerance, you know?
So, and since we're talking about Wade Boggs, there's another cool quote. Remember that Sunny Philadelphia episode? So there's this quote where Dennis was like, nobody can drink that much. Dennis said, and Frank responded, not with an attitude like that. And if you remember that episode, they had the white shirts with
they're marking them.
And then the end of the episode is they go to the ballpark, and Charlie's drunk, and Mac, I think it was, threw him the ball, and he
roped it.
He hacked it, yeah. And he's like, I don't have another ball.
He's like, give me another one. He's like, dude, I only brought one ball. I didn't think you were going to hit it. Fucking roped that.
And I think, if I remember correctly, in that episode, that wasn't supposed to happen, right?
I don't know. There's some interesting behind-the-scenes interviews with those guys, and they're great. And Charlie's, the Charlie actor, that dude's a multi-talent. He's a musician and everything else.
Yeah, he's the Nightman.
Yeah, the Nightman's the greatest song of all time.
I think one episode, we're going to have to get into Trailer Park Boys lore.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Wade Boggs, 107 beers, went 3 for 5. So if you want to go 3 for 5, young people, drink 107 beers.
There's a lot of beers. Wade Boggs, like Boggs just sounds like the name. I don't think you could have a last name of Boggs and not be a drinker, not be able to slam. I don't know what heritage that is with Boggs.
Because he had
wasn't he a red-haired dude?
Yeah, he was red hair. Yeah,
he looked like maybe an Irishman. I don't know. Boggs.
His name was Wade Boggs.
Mud Bog. I don't know, man. Wade Boggs could freaking hit that. Yeah, that was back when average and batting champions was king, and everybody remembered Boggs. Man, that guy could do it.
I also think the manager was like, look, dude, you can drink all you want, because if you're going 3 for 5 every night, hell yeah.
It was crazy because he ended up on the Yankees and then won the World Series with them, and everybody, you just remember him as Red Sox.
Yeah. I remember him playing on the Yankees. Well, I don't remember that time, but I just know of it, right?
Yeah.
I'm personally a favor of the Tampa Bay years.
And I remember the Tampa Bay years too, because
even though that was like his last run, but still.
Boggs was kind of ageless because he was like a mustachioed person.
Yeah.
So he always probably as a 20-year-old early in his career guy looked like he was 35. So he always just looked like a 35-year-old mustachioed man his entire career to me. He never really aged. In his numbers, why you have him, you pick him up as a free agent. Maybe he's not an everyday starter at third base, is he's such a good hitter. How clutch is that in the postseason where pitching, really good pitching, dominates and wins championships and good bullpen? You have a guy that isn't a high strikeout guy, that's a high contact guy. That was like and that's when the Rays were in the postseason too. When they had Boggs. They had some postseason runs with Boggs, didn't they?
Because, like, the Rays started in 98, and he played with them, I think, the first couple of years. I don't think
they weren't postseason then?
That was 98. That was, like, in the late 90s, right?
Yeah.
I don't think they would have... Because I'm looking it up right now, but I thought he only played for them 1 year.
Yeah. The professional, like, Matt Stairs was a power guy. He was a strikeout guy. Matt Stairs is one of my favorites.
He actually played for the Rays 2 years. I played for him in 98 and 99.
Yeah. Favorite dudes, Matt Stairs, quote-unquote professional hitters. But the places for guys like Olerud and Boggs and not high strikeout, contact, like pro hitter dudes on a postseason run type team is huge. And the Padres just got Luis Arias, who's huge. I mean, he's the guy that can bust the bullpen.
So this is crazy.
Yeah.
Since we're talking about Wade Boggs, I looked up his stats for the last 2 years with the Rays. In 98, he played in 123 games. He batted 280.
Yeah.
Which is cool. And in 99, he only played 90 games, but he batted 301.
He's unreal.
So he's still, even though that was like his twilight of his career, he still was able to hit pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, unbelievable hitters. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, everybody likes sabermetrics when you get these dudes hitting 200 with 40 homers, and the math would tell you it's like that's value. That's how you won the games. But the postseason is an entirely different game than regular season, and you have to get through crazy good bullpens. That's why the Giants won all the World Series. Like, you got to get through these bullpens that are lights out, and the guy that hit 40 homers is gonna K. He's just gonna K. The Luis Arias, you get somebody walks in front of him, well, that dude just singled. Now you're first and third with nobody out.
Yeah.
That's the difference of the one-run games. That's a great pickup for the Pods looking at the postseason.
Because, like, it's cool to, like, these advanced stats because it gives people spots that normally wouldn't have a spot.
Yeah.
But then sometimes it's just like
yeah, low power.
You can't always rely on those stats.
Yeah, like low power dudes that hit for pretty good average are somewhat, I think, undervalued regular season. But I think their value should be looked at again as far as postseason when it's just the pitching is so good and everything's a one-run game almost. So I don't know. It's interesting to think about. But that's a good segment. Old Wade Boggs tripped down memory lane with that legend. Wasn't he on an episode of Cheers or something like that? All that Boston stuff, I'm sure.
I would assume. I'm not sure. I've never really watched Cheers. I've seen a couple episodes here and there, but I would know. But I would say yes. I would definitely say yes.
Boggs probably in there.
Wade Boggs always looks the same.
I'm going to Boston. pretty soon.
You should.
Marine Corps retirement.
Oh shit! Is it like a little hangout kind of thing?
Yeah, it'll be like I'm not taking the family, so that simplifies things. And it's just a guy that I was a lieutenant with. He's from Boston, which is crazy because he's in Tampa right now.
Good city.
He works at SOCOM, but he's retiring, and things going back in Boston. Full circle, Recruit Depot where he started. Like we're doing it right down there in downtown Boston. It's this hotel, and man, he made it, dude. He made the promise like 20 plus freaking years in the Corps. God bless you, Sean Barnes.
So before we end this segment, I will say Tampa's a great city. And if you want some quality Tex-Mex, don't forget to stop by your local Tijuana Flats. Get some tasty treats. But,
get some tasty treats, which I'm going to get at our break. Commercial break here. The Dutch Chattahoochee does so well.
We'll come back with your segment and get in some more baseball talk.
That sounds good.
All right.
All right, bud.
Y'all ain't nothing but a bunch of popcorn-eating, sunglass-wearing, radio-listening losers. That's all you are. And that's all you are, too.
Well, goodness, there, guy.
I'm finished. They're going to fire me.
Get a hold of yourself
I got a
there.
wife and kids.
Hey,
I can't sell insurance.
I don't think anybody...
I made a 4 on my ACT.
think anybody forced you into coaching. Goodness, something you got to deal with there, guy. Of course, when you're a winner, you don't Don't have to worry about that kind of thing. I tell you what, just wait till their damn daddies start coming down and telling you how to do your job. You really enjoy that, won't you?
All right. So during that Wade Boggs segment, you heard music playing the whole time, and that was my bad. I forgot to turn it off. Yeah. But the good thing is you got to listen to us talk while hearing some cool jams.
Some cool jams over and over. Talk about Wade Boggs, the king of average.
That was my bad. But like I said, we're not perfect. You know.
Sound is always an issue.
Do you want music? Do you want music for yours right now?
Yeah, give me some bumping. I'm about to tweet out the spaces.
So for your segment, what number would you like?
Spaces.
We're going to give you number 6. How's that sound?
Okay.
I'll remember to turn it down this time.
Everyone's allowed in the spaces, and we're going to call it baseball. Yep. Airing of baseball grievances. Baseball grievances.
Wait, wasn't this the same music I just had?
Maybe. Let me check.
Because I use 5 for mine, and this one's 6, but it sounds very similar.
5 and 6 are the same. Yeah, 5 and 6 are the same.
Well,
like 1 or something.
Well, now you have the same music that I did for this one.
Well,
I'll remember to change it for your second segment.
Okay.
All right, senor. Let's get to your segment, sir. We'll start talking about it.
Okay, well, I guess I'll do the tweet space later. I got to start talking. All right, then I wrote down here. I'm just going to... I looked at these. These cards are fucking old as shit.
Hey, remember to turn off the music. Hooray me.
Yeah, bump music off. I don't know. This is a hella old Fleer set. This isn't even...
I like the Montreal Expos sticker hat there.
This is a hella old Fleer set. This is just the Twins. Bobby Mitchell, Ken Schramm, Ray Smith, Tim Teufel. There's freaking Ron Washington.
As a player?
As a player for the Twins. Look at old Ron.
Is that coked out Ron Washington? Dude, that's that's a great card. Man. So I will throw this graphic up. But this is a Ron Washington, Bob Minnesota Baylor. Twins. Let me take a picture of this so I remember which one to use.
This is like 84 Fleer, I think. Yeah, this is 84 Fleer. Look at it. Here's I'm in the Mets. Bob Baylor, Mark Bradley, Hubie Brooks, George Foster, old ass. I don't care anymore. George Foster, Brian Giles, Danny Heap. People forget about Danny Heap. There's an old Keith Hernandez, Ron Hodges, man, Scott Holman getting into it. Dave Kingman. Everybody said he was an a-hole. He kind of looks like it, but man, he could crush. Ed Lynch looks funny as hell in that Fleer card. Jose Oquendo made it to the Mets. I forgot about that. Jesse Orosco, man. You want to talk about a guy you want in your bullpen.
What do they call these cars? The junk wax error?
I don't know if this was official junk wax. Fleer didn't make that money. This is like Orosco's third year. Let's see here. Santa Barbara, California. Jesse Orosco, man. That dude could pitch. Junior Ortiz. Don't forget about that catcher. Old Bobby Brown. Randy Johnson, the other Randy Johnson, the third baseman for the Braves.
The other third baseman.
Mookie Wilson. Oh, dude, look how the manager cards look. These are funny-ass manager cards. You're just pictures just down here in the corner. Look at that. Look at that.
Oh, that's a checklist.
This is a checklist, but you got the little manager in the corner.
Because I have a couple Tony La Russa manager cards.
Checklists. And then I get to Bobby. So that's a Fleer set. I pulled that out. I forgot I had that Fleer set.
So are these the cards that you bought originally by yourself, like back in the day?
What? No, I think I must have bought the set off of... I bought this set off of somebody who had the set.
Okay.
All right, let's go into a different pile, and we'll see if we're going to give any of these cards here. Give these cards to... I'll wait till I go a name I think you've heard of. This dude's name is Bombo Rivera for the Twins. You know about a guy named Bombo?
I do now.
Okay, check out Bombo. Whoop. That dude's name is literally Bombo.
I'm taking pictures of these cards. I can throw up some random cards here.
People don't want Charlie Liebrandt, but they should. Jeff Burrows, his kid played in the Little League World Series. Jim Cat, somebody want a Jim Cat card. Steve Trout was awesome. Julio Cruz with the Mariners. Oh, God. Here's Torrey. I forget. Torrey managed with the Mets, huh?
Torrey?
Dale. I found a Dale Bear card.
Dale Barrett.
Dale Barrett, man.
Look at that stud, dude. That dude's a Hall of Famer,
Jesus
huh?
Christ, this is Tim McCarver's card. He's still playing back then. Tim McCarver with the Phillies, man. He
ended up being a baseball announcer, right?
Yeah, he's a hell of a long baseball
Yeah, I was gonna
announcer.
say.
Bobby Bonds. There's Barry Bonds' dad. Do you see any resemblance between him and Barry? That's Bobby Bonds.
This dude looks
Bibby?
legit.
Does he look like Barry? Because that's Barry Bonds, the Candy Man.
I don't see it, but Barry Bonds also didn't have a beard like his dad does. Bobby.
Enos Cabell, yeah. Louis Tion. Somebody might want a Louis Tion. Joe Charbonneau. I got 2 Joe Charbonneaus. Those are dope cards.
Some of these cards you can't
Ooh,
give
the
away.
Mad Hungarian. Al Herboski. Oh, man, I can't wing it over there. All right, there's a Dave Kingman. Somebody might not want a Dave Kingman. These are great. Let me go to a different pile. This is my money pile. I think this is my money. If I'm putting these things in sleeves, Joaquin Andujar, tops, 1976.
Now, when you use top loaders,
Ooh,
do you put the best cards or your favorite cards?
my favorites really.
That's
Found
how I
some
am.
Fernandos here. 2
That's how I am.
Fernandos.
Like-
82 Fernando.
Like I said, I don't collect for money, so I don't know what cards that are worth anything, if all. So I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like when someone's like, "Oh, this 24 tops has blasters or whatever the fuck they are." Like I don't know like what that means. Like, "Oh, this is a variant, a color variant." I was like, "I don't care."
Trivia for you and or for Bonnie, who's going to eventually maybe see this.
Ask me a question.
This only shows up on the Dunross. It doesn't show up on the Fleer. Fernando Valenzuela's middle name.
Oh shit, Edgar? I don't know.
Nobody ever get that trivia question. Anguamea.
Okay.
Fernando Anguamea Valenzuela.
I just
That's
said
pretty
Edgar because
dope.
I met a dude the other day named Edgar, so I was like, that was the name that was fresh in my head.
Look at this sick ass card. 1973 RBI leaders, Stargell and Reggie Jackson.
I feel like some of these people that buy these cards better appreciate these cards.
Tom Glavine rookie card. Ozzie Guillen, Bobby Mercer, Kirk Gibson. I got Steve Avery minor league card. Bo Jackson.
I always like those cards when they put like 2 or 3 different people on them, kind of like a rookie phenoms or whatever.
I got a Larry Walker rookie here. What do you think of that?
That was with the Expos, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. Larry Walker rookie. Here's Dave Parker. That's like his second. No, it's 4th year. I got a Deion Sanders rookie.
Oh, is that
Yeah.
a football one?
Well, he's wearing a headband. Looks like with shoulder pads, but he was with the Yankees. It could be with the Yankees, but man, his shoulders look huge in that. You want to see that? Got a Griffey.
This looks like a
Griffey Donruss.
This is definitely a baseball card. Yeah,
I think this is like 2nd year for Griffey. This
this
Donruss.
is definitely a baseball card. This is before Dion became all about himself, kind of like he's with Colorado.
Biggio rookie. Yeah.
But
I got a Smoltz rookie. Upper deck. How much is that worth? Another Griffey. Ricky Henderson 2nd year. This is my sickest card. I'll never get rid of that. Ricky Henderson 2nd year. Oh.
that's a beauty
That
card.
dude that's a beaut. That's a hell of a
beaut.
baseball player. Fernando's and Ricky's in here. These are all good. I got a Mark Langston rookie. Shit. Oh no, dude, that's a Topps traded. See how the back is lighter? This is when they did the extended sets. That's like Langston's rookie year. And then I got a Danny Ainge. Not too many dudes playing the NBA and also Major League Baseball. Danny Ainge is one of a handful of dudes who have ever pulled that shit off, which is crazy. Danny Ainge, I think we covered this in one shot. Danny Ainge is such a crazy story.
He got brought up in the Blue Jays organization, right?
Yeah, like Ainge. Okay, so I have friends from Eugene, Oregon, and Ainge is a legend. He broke like every record in Oregon, and Ainge doesn't look like the craziest athlete. He's not like a huge yoked guy. He was 6'4", 175, and then he went to BYU, and I think he was playing hoops at BYU. But then in the summer, he would go play minor league baseball for the Blue Jays and then, like, come back to class. And then he got called up. So you could be in class and be like, hey, don't you play for the Blue Jays? The guy in my calculus class at BYU, he plays for the Blue Jays. It's like the second baseman for the Blue Jays. And he's still playing hoops in college. Angels is the craziest. It gets overlooked by like the Barry, by the Bo Jacksons and the Deion Sanders of the world. But Danny Angels was even crazier because it wasn't even like, he was playing 2 pro sports there for a period. For a period, he was playing a pro sport like college, like NCAA March Madness tournament. Wouldn't that be weird? Like a major leaguer, you're like, oh, there he is on ESPN in the round of 16 or something.
He probably was just like, hey, man, it's just something I'm good at. He probably didn't think too much about it,
But yeah, freakish.
Oh, here's the rest of your cards.
Yeah, okay. I'm not giving those away. Here's who they might get. They're gonna get a Jim Cat, a Dave Kingman, a Joe Carbonneau, a Louis Tiant, a Joe Torre Manager card, and a Steve Trout. Do you think any dad that goes to this daycare is going to bid $3 on these cards?
I would say the Joe Torre Manager card's a cool card for sure.
Yeah.
I hope there are some actual baseball fans there that would understand, like, oh, these are cool,
I think there's one other nutty ass baseball dad who might buy them, but they're like, can you give us a value when you give us an item for the auction? Can you give us an estimated value? I was like, dude, I don't know, it's $6. Charbonneau, I think, was rookie of the year. Check me on that.
I have a card that's worth $1, and let me tell you, top loader. No.
Yeah, Charbonneau is good enough to be rookie of the year. 87 RBIs as a rookie in 131 games, 23 homers. I mean, that dude's a ball player. Old Joe Charbonneau. He looks like a rookie, too. Look at that. Young-looking man.
Just got done with school.
Joe Charbonneau. All right. Well, that was it. Do you want me to go through any more cards, see if I ring any bells?
Sure. See if we can bring up some forgotten players, maybe.
Forgotten players. All right. I'm going to grab this batch from the middle. We'll just go through here, see who's in here. Oh, here you go. 81 Boston Red Sox batting pitching leaders. Carney Lansford, Mike Torres.
Ooh.
How many people remember Mike Torres? They don't. 81 batting pitching leaders. Montreal Expos, Warren Cromartie and Bill Gullickson.
Ooh.
Those are cool cards. You like those? I wish they did more of these kind of like 2 dudes on one card.
They still do that kind of thing?
I like that. I like that because every once in a while they turn out to be insane.
You know what's really cool, though? Is like I like buying older sets, right?
Yeah.
And finding those rookie phenoms and see who actually panned out, right?
Yeah.
Like you'll get a card that says rookie phenom. I'm like, I've never heard of this fucking guy. Never heard of this guy.
Yeah. 81 White Sox batting pitching leaders. Chet Lemon hit .302 and Dennis Lamp had a 2.41 ERA. Shit, Dennis Lamp.
Everybody knows Dennis Lamp.
That's a pretty low ass ERA, Dennis Lamp.
Dude, Dennis Lamp looks like he's about to go fishing
this
right
is
now.
a sick card. Look at this. I got Milt May hitting .310 for the 81 Giants. And you got Vida Blue on this card.
You keep that.
2.4. That's a Vida Blue right there.
You keep that card.
That's cool. That's a rare ass Vida Blue.
Oh, that's later on in his career.
Yeah, later on after he said,
81
"Fuck you,
Giants.
Charlie Finley."
81 Giants.
Glenn Hubbard. These are cool cards where they did like these fake autographs on them. I think was the thing.
Those are still cool.
There's a couple fake autographs. Glenn Hubbard. I think Glenn Hubbard was a bomber. He's a power guy.
I have so many. Like I bought, like I said, I bought a bunch of 80s cards and
definitely
70s cards
wasn't.
one time.
Yeah.
For like $100.
Yeah.
It was like 1,000 cards, and I have a bunch of those fake autograph cards. But to me, they're great cards. Like I don't give my cards away. I don't sell them. So I have a bunch of those so-called junk wax error cards, which to me are some of my favorite cards. You know what I mean?
Look at that Vida. Got the classic.
Dude, that is a really cool card.
That's a cool Vida card. 82 Don Ross Vida Blue.
You're not gonna auction that one off, are you?
No way. That's a really cool shot. Look.
I was gonna say.
Dan Quisenberry was many things as a submarine pitcher, but he was also a dude with like hair like an art teacher. You know?
Yeah.
Isn't that your art teacher right there?
He looks like an art teacher.
We're going to be working with some pastels today. His hair's like just like popping out.
You guys want to do sexual, what I was trying to say existentialism, but I said sexualism.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't fucking use my words. Because remember, English isn't my first language. So
Look at this action shot of Ken Tuckleby. The 82 Dunross.
Isn't you that you said that you love those pillbox hats? Those
Yeah,
cool
the pillbox hats are great, but I mean the photography, some of this is just original photography. Like the photo for Dunross, Topps doesn't have the right to. That was a Dunross photographer sold that picture. And so you get these different cool baseball pictures. Oh, here's a good Ranger. Mickey Rivers, man.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Mickey Rivers. Angels, Yankees, Rangers, man.
Like,
Oh,
if
Mickey
people
Rivers.
can't, like, if people just, I wish people would just understand the awesomeness of Vida Blue.
Yeah.
The thing I liked about Vida Blue is he spoke his goddamn mind. Other than being an amazing pitcher, he spoke his mind. Didn't he win like back-to-back World Series with the A's?
Yeah. UL Washington. The new owners of the Seguin River Monsters know UL Washington. I think he passed away.
Oh, shit.
Oh, my God. Dang, dude. Look at these great action shots. Here's a John Candelaria with the pillbox. And then look at this leg kick from John Henry Johnson. Oh, dang. Those are sick pictures, right?
These right here are what makes baseball cards fun.
82 Dunross is bringing the heat.
Wasn't it Dunross back in the day? Like, weren't they like balling?
I don't know, man. That's a
Because nowadays it's like what Topps is like the best, I guess.
Joe Strain. This is in Bonnie's wheelhouse too. He knows everything for this like era. Joe Strain made it to this show, second baseman.
Dude, I love that name, John Henry Johnson. You know, John Henry Johnson's definitely out there plowing the fields, if you know what I mean.
This is, yeah, John Henry Johnson. This is funny. You ever know like the Topps cards will put like weird little facts on the back with these little cartoons? Yeah. This is Joe Strain, who I can't remember or didn't hear of. He probably wasn't in the show that long, but he's still a major leaguer. Second baseman. They didn't even put facts about him on here. They just put facts about Pete Rose and Roy Howell. They didn't even care about Joe Strain's facts. They're like, Joe was an All-American chess player in high school or something like that. They're not doing that.
He didn't get no facts about him?
Facts about other people. All right, I'm done with my cards. Fun trip down memory lane. You can outro it and bump music into your next one, and I'll start munching on some snacks. But I don't really know what the daycare's getting, but they're definitely not getting my Joaquin Andujar, and they're not getting my freaking Vida Blues. They might get Dion though. That's a cool Dion card.
Dion people since this is Texas, people will love Dion because he was a Cowboy legend.
Yeah.
Now he's
in the news now, so people will bid on it, right?
Now he's like about himself, and he honestly he's in the business for himself. He doesn't give a shit about the Colorado Buffaloes or the team.
I gotta look. No, I like Dion.
I'm sorry, but he's more concerned about himself than he is everybody else. Like if you show up to a fucking press conference wearing a prime Colorado shirt rather than just wearing a straight Colorado Buffalo shirt, if you have your name on it, that's fucking stupid. I'm sorry. Nothing against him as a person. I'm sure he's a cool person, but he's definitely
misunderstood.
He's definitely in the business of making money for himself. He's a showman, and that's all it is.
Yeah, I mean, I was there. That's kind of how I felt about him before he played for the Cowboys, and then, of course, I was a bandwagon all about him. And I think I misunderstood him as a baseball dude, also as a purist on how much he really liked baseball. And, he was a college baseball player at Florida State, and I've turned the corner on Dion, frankly.
I still think he's a showman. He always has been. I mean, he's prime time. So
I think he is, but I maybe think that he has like a philosophical reason for why he's showing out from his perspective. But anyway, I'm not against.
All right, Senor. We'll wrap this up and we'll move on.
That was the baseball card
one.
segment.
We'll move on to the next one.
Biscuits and gravy, biscuits and gravy. I want to eat biscuits and gravy with you. Biscuits and gravy, biscuits and gravy. I want to eat biscuits and gravy with you. Want 'em in the morning time and in the afternoon. Want 'em around 5 o'clock in the middle of the night at 2. Oh, biscuits and gravy, biscuits and gravy. I want to eat biscuits and gravy with you.
All right, so before we get into this here,
Get into the next segment.
I'm going to pick number 2 and go up with it and see what happens.
Also, while you're doing your bump music, I'm just going to do a disclaimer because I sent out the spaces thing right now in between our segments. And I can already tell it's going to be fucked up because I thought you could just like invite people and set them like you're a host, do whatever. But it's not seemingly working like that. So I think I have to wait till it opens up and then tell everybody who's the host.
Well, you have to like You start it,
I started.
and then people join, and you can give them permission to talk. You have to ask for permission to speak. Because I've been in a few of those, and yeah, you have to. I don't know if it's the same now, but like I got in one like last year, and it was like you had to give the host had to give permission to have guest speakers. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But,
Well, I don't want it to be chaos, but I want everybody to have a chance, and I don't want to run my suck the entire time. So I just want to watch some baseball and listen to other baseball people talk. So we'll see how it goes.
All right.
But with the kids' bedtime, it might be fucked up, and I might not start it right at 8. People aren't going to know this. They're going to see this like a week later, like, why was this so fucked up? And then they'll see this, and they'll be like, that's why. Okay. Sorry.
You're good. So one I can't add. So basically 25. We'll stop at 20. That'll be perfect timing. Anyway, so for my next segment, my last segment of the day, I want to bring up 5 past Ranger players.
Yes.
I'm
psyched for this.
So I'm going to bring up 5 players first, and then we'll go through them afterwards.
I'm going to get into a protein bar so I have enough mental energy to, like, be all full down with this.
Okay, so we have until 11:20, and that's plenty of time to get into this talk. All right. So, and like I said, no in particular order as far as greatness or ability, just 5 players that I remember watching.
Yep.
Being from Dallas, I was like, oh, shit. So, number 1, Rusty Greer. Okay. Number 2, Mark McLemore.
Yep.
Number 3, and I fuck up his name every time, but Neftali Feliz.
Neftali.
Yeah. Number 4, Brad Wilkerson. That was a guy I watched hit 3 home runs in a game one time.
Yeah.
And finally, the legend that is John Wetland for the Rangers.
Well, Wetland.
So those are my 5 players.
Who is number 4?
Brad Wilkerson. Yeah, just
Was he a pitcher?
no, he was a batter.
Wilkerson?
Yeah.
Huh.
He wasn't like great or anything, but I just, like I said, I just remember watching him play.
Yeah. Greer was fucking nails. Very likable. Very popular player, as they say.
Yeah,
I don't know if he's an all-star every year, what his numbers were, but everybody in Texas loved him. He's diving after everything, just a scrap-nosed dude. A lot of highlight reels on that guy. A lot of what's that, ESPN top 10 kind of thing. Greer was all up in that. Neftali Feliz, part of the Cardinals' heartbreak. That entire team's just burned into my memory. Also, I wonder if I'm so on air. Like, would I be more arrogant in people's face, or like have a different emotional vibe about the Texas Rangers World Series champion status right now had we not had our hearts torn out of our chest in the Cardinals World Series? I feel like psychologically it would be so different. You know?
Yeah, because Feliz, man, he wasn't dominant for very long, but those 2 years that he was dominant was 2010, 2011, right?
Yeah.
2010, he was his All-Star year. I think his only All-Star year, but he had 40 saves that year, right?
Yeah.
Which was really fucking cool. Because I remember, like I said, that wasn't that long ago. What kind of was now? I guess it was like 14 years ago.
Yeah.
Which is insane to think about. But he, like, those 2 years, 2010 and 2011 was his best years.
Yeah, Feliz was a great closer to have. We had a good bullpen. It was
because, like, in 2011, he followed up 2010. So in 2010, he had 40 saves, and in 2011, he had 32. But after that, between that, so before that and after that, he didn't really, I don't remember why, but he didn't dominate again.
The shelf life for closers is really like that. A couple seasons, the Rod Becks and Mariano Riveros, and who was the other guy I liked? Oh man, he did it forever. He's with the Cubs. I want to say Lee Smith.
Lee Smith?
I
know. Who was that? I'm thinking of Cliff Lee. Totally different dude.
was like Quisenberry, like a submarine closer, but a heater, like Goose Gossage, I guess. But the guys that are supposed to come in and just be like heaters, the John Rockers of the world, I ain't a 20-year career, dude. You're blowing out that elbow, or you're blowing out that elbow, or you're just like the rest of the mortals who we can all see that velocity, the velo just goes down after season. You ain't keeping it up, except for Aroldis Chapman, boob grabbing. I don't know. Maybe some of these other relievers should look into like social media boob grabbing, like Adolis. I don't know what the secret recipe is for him and his velocity never going down, other than
What's your
possibly
pregame meal?
performance
What are you
enhancing
eating
drugs.
beforehand? So the other player that I brought up, that you had no idea who it was Brad Wilkinson.
Yeah, tell me about Brad Wilkinson's career.
He'd only played for Rangers for 2 years.
No wonder I can't remember him.
2007 and 2006.
What other major league teams did he play for? Organizations.
He played for he started out in Montreal.
He's a SPO. Don't expose yourself unless you're wearing a cowboy hat.
He was an Expo from 2001 till 2004.
Oh,
Actually, I'm sorry.
I kind of do remember Wilkerson as an Expo.
2002. I'm sorry. 2001 to 2005, but in 2005, that's when they moved to Washington.
Yeah.
So technically, he was with that team for what, 4 years, 5 years?
Yeah.
And then he came to Texas.
He's an infielder?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He played outfield and first baseman. So yeah.
Okay.
Outfield. And the reason the only reason that I know of this dude is because, like I said, I'm from Dallas and I used to go to lots of Rangers games.
Yeah.
And one of the games that I was there, he went off and hit 3 home runs that game.
No way.
Yeah. So that's why I remember that one game. I thought it was cool. That's the only time I've ever seen anybody hit 3 home runs in one game.
The Mark Wittens of the world. Some of these Major League Baseball players are such amazing athletes, and honestly, any given day, some of them could just pop it out of the ballpark, making contact. But I mean, straight up making contact, it's gone.
So like in 2006 with the Rangers, he did hit 15 home runs, and in 2007 he hit 20. So
pretty good.
But he wasn't like a starter, you know? So he didn't get, and he wasn't even that, and he wasn't like, some Hall of Famer player or anything. He's just some random dude I remember that I thought I would bring up.
Yeah. Wasn't Wetland, didn't he start out with the Expos?
John Wetland?
Am I crazy? He was at Expos time?
I know he went, let me look him up because I don't remember.
Look up Wetland on Baseball Reference. I want to say he went like Expos, then to the, we might have got him from the Expos. I don't know why.
Oh, yeah, he did play for the Expos. So he played with the Expos from...
That's how he was a rookie with them?
No, he was a rookie with the Dodgers.
Oh, really?
He played for the Expos between 94 and 92 through 94.
Okay.
He played with the Rangers from 97 to 2000? Yeah. But the reason I remember him was he was a good closer.
Who was a good closer?
And 98, 99, he was an all-star with them. And in 99, he had 43 saves, and in 98, he had 42.
That's a lot of saves.
So, because I think, and I like I said, I was a teenager at that point, and I remember him.
Man.
But John Wetland is a legendary player.
He was a legendary player, and he was a big free agent pickup for the Yankees when their bullpen needed help. But, yeah, the closer, I saw Dave Righetti in here, and who else was the other closer I saw in here? Jesse Orozco. Orozco wasn't so much a close as he was a setup guy, but, man, that dude could chew up some innings.
Which is crazy that you brought him up for the Yankees because in 90, he was an all-star with the Yankees, too, in 96, and he had 43 saves that year.
Did he go from the Rangers to the Yankees, right?
I believe so. Let me look at his teams.
That's where I remember that happening.
So, okay, yeah, he went from New York to the Rangers, yeah.
Okay, and who was the second Ranger you mentioned? We had Greer.
Brad Wilkinson.
Wilkinson was number
Mark
2?
McLemore.
Oh, McLemore, I always remember as an Angel.
He played for Mariners too, I think, at one point.
Yeah, he played all around. McLemore could play.
These are just like random players that I just remember from the Rangers,
Yeah.
and I was like, I'm just gonna list 5 random players that I remember.
Yeah, Mark McLemore. His name just rolls off the tongue. I remember McLemore. I think I might have been like a hot rookie pro. I think he was a top 50 prospect. Those kind of things I remember about McLemore coming in the league is that he was supposed to be a somebody, and he wasn't a bad player. I mean, by any stretch of the imagination, but
because in the mid 90s and stuff, there were some years where the Rangers weren't very good.
No,
and I just like Mickey Telleton. I remember him too as a Ranger.
Tets was great. Crazy swing on that guy. Yeah, I mean they had Will Clark for a period too.
Yeah,
all
Juan
kinds
Gonzalez,
of crazy ass
obviously.
dudes come through Texas.
Juan Gonzalez, obviously.
Juan gone. We had Pudge. You had so many Rafael Palmeiro doing whatever, PEDs, who cares?
I did not do steroids. Okay, Raphael, whatever your name was, Raphael, I don't know.
It sucks that he gets hated on. All these dudes did juice, Giambi, and it was the era. It was the era.
See, I think people's problem, it's not that the fact that they juiced up, it's the fact that they overdid it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, see, that's like such a tough line to follow because, like, I guarantee every baseball fan, your top 5 or some of your favorite baseball players, at least one of them juiced, never got caught. You don't know it. You still love that guy. But then when you get as huge as Barry Bonds, it's so noticeable that it's like, bro, you're on something else, man. This is Olympic, East German level engineering happening.
Well, there's that dude from the Rangers that looks like he's juicing the fuck up. What's his name?
Adolis Garcia.
Yeah.
But he's not, though. I say he's just as big as when he was with the Cardinals.
I don't know,
People
man.
get him in like a different... Honestly, if I put... Like, because it's always the Houston fans who want to say he's on juice. If I take Jordan and I put him in like a tight tee because he's out going to run a 5K, everybody's like, oh, Jordan, you're on juice. I'm like, dude's huge. Some of these dudes are just huge. Adolis was huge with the Cardinals. He's a huge dude.
He wasn't that big, though. Like
I think it was a big jersey, that Cardinals picture. That's what I think. I swear he was that big. Like, it was the exact same size.
I'm not saying he is, but there's a big difference of last year and this year in that short amount of turnaround.
Really?
I think so. Pictures could be deceiving also.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm not saying he is. I'm
He
just
was
saying.
yoked last year. I thought he was yoked. He's always been yoked.
What's funny is the accusations that I saw first were on Twitter from Astro fans.
Yeah, it's always like it's not. And I don't want to pigeonhole Stros fan. There's like a 15%. Like there's a huge swath, pretty huge swath. I would say like 85% are just normal. Like Texas, they rooted Rangers, they rooted Astros. They're happy the Astros are doing great. Cool people rooting for the Stros. That's your town. There's 15 of them who are absolutely the exact same people that would go to Jonestown and drink the suicide Kool-Aid that the preacher was having them drink because they're just insane fanatics that cannot see any outside information. So they, for some reason, hate the Texas Rangers. Adolis is on juice. They flip out if anybody talks about like sign stealing. Nobody cares, and they're not based in reality. There's like,
you know what we call those fans?
I don't know what they're doing there.
We call them fans fair weather bandwagon fans.
Well, they clearly don't remember the history of the
don't.
Houston Astros.
There's some 19-year-old kid that just has only been around when they've been good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what, and they just thought they would never fall off. That's the first tell that you've been a baseball fan for about 8 years when you thought the Stros couldn't fall off. You're just talking mad shit forever. AL West is locked up, just mad shit forever. It's like, bro, you need to look at the history of Major League Baseball. It ain't gonna last, and you're gonna look like an idiot.
No dynasty lasts forever.
Yeah, that's why I'm not talking shit about the Rangers, because like even if we like get DeGrom and Scherzer and we go on some crazy run, I was like, you just enjoy it while it's happening. Enjoy it while it's happening. It don't last forever.
Yeah. Like the Rays too.
Yeah, I'm not.
When we have good years, I'm like,
teams.
at some point we'll have a bad year, and this year we're a 500 team. It's but I enjoy watching them and stuff.
Yeah, I guess I have to say this. So like, I pretty much am cool with all major league teams. The Mariners are just the special one for me. The Mariners are a level of love-hate that's maybe like a girl that broke your heart and you're just never going to get over it. That's kind of why I hate the Mariners, I guess. I have a special relationship for them. I won't root for them or their front office. And if they do great, that's great because I know everybody back home and they're psyched. But you're just suffering under a curse, I think, up there. And I just let that whore of an organization trample my heart, and I said, you know what? You're screwed. Mariners are screwed.
There's a couple teams that I won't root for. The Dodgers, the Astros. That's about it for me. I mean, I'll root for the Yankees, Red Sox, Blue Jays every now and then.
Yeah.
You know, but
It's so hard for me because like teams that you would normally want to hate, like the Yankees or the Dodgers or something like that. I love Lasorda.
Well,
The history of the Dodgers, Fernando Mania, Kirk Gibson. I was just in the Yankees, Whitey Ford, Yogi Berra, Mickey Mantle. Like, I love these, or like the history of these teams. It's tough hating on anybody except fucking Mariners.
I think the Yankees, like modern Yankees, they have so many good players that you want to see them do well.
Yeah.
So you're like, I can't really root against that team right now.
Yeah.
Except the Astros. I don't give a shit. All of them has terrible careers. Like, I don't like Altuve. I never have. I know people are like, he's a good guy. I don't give a shit. That's fine. I'm sure he's a good guy. That doesn't mean I have to root for him or his team.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Altuve's something else. I guess that's like a segue. I don't know. What am I doing? Whose segment is this? I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about anymore.
We were talking about the past Rangers, but then we kind of blended it in with talking about
segue into modern day teams.
Yeah, we'll come back into your segment.
We could segue into the present day stats.
Yeah, because we have like 9 minutes left, 8 minutes left before it shuts off. So
those are some good ones. Neftali Wilkerson didn't know much about. That's cool that he was an expo and he didn't expose himself to people and get arrested for it. Greer, just a nails player. It's fun. It's like go look at Rusty Greer highlights on YouTube. That's such a good one.
Because he was third base, right?
He's center field, really. He was
Who
an
am I thinking
outfielder,
of
just diving all over the
Michael
place.
Young at third base. I'm sorry.
Young was a good third baseman, but he did so many seasons at shortstop. Young was such a great oppo gap double guy. He just stayed on the ball. Young was such a good fucking hitter. That guy was such a good hitter.
Yeah.
Honestly, he might have Hall of Fame numbers. That guy was so good. Man, that was just a great dude to have in your lineup, Michael Young. So we had Greer. 2 was
Mark McLemore.
McLemore, I don't know enough about his career. I just remember the hype, and I was really excited when I was collecting cards to get a Mark McLemore rookie. I was like, oh, and he was the Angels, I think. I was like, yeah, McLemore, dude, this guy's going to be awesome. And then he was, he's good. But all the millions of McLemore cards that I collected didn't turn into millions, so that's what I remember about McLemore. 3rd was
Neftali Feliz.
Neftali Feliz.
I can never pronounce his fucking name.
Just part of the Cardinals' heartbreak, which forever altered my baseball psyche.
Yeah, but at the same time, that was kind of an overhead kind of catch. So the drop was understandable. Cruz, right? Nelson Cruz.
The thing is, in the pitcher whose name, and he was such a great setup man too. I can't remember it. I have it every time because I remember it, but it was David Freese, and he was fouling off all these sliders. It was really long at bat. And I was like, man, just take something off the slider. Yeah. Just slow down the arm. Just take, like, if you throw that slider 83 instead of 88 right now, he swings through. I promise that change of speed gets him because everything was hard in a hard slider. And it's when you're one strike away. Like, one out away is something different, but you're in front of the TV, like, going swing through it. Like, this is it. We're about to fucking crazy to have it torn away from you at that level. Fucking one strike away. Unbelievable. But we got it now, so it's been the demons have been exorcised.
That's the greatest thing ever to see your team win a championship.
Yeah, it really is. It's even greater, I think. That's what I guess I'm saying. It's even greater that they won it. Like, that would have been great, but it's 50 times greater having lost the Cardinals one. That was so painful.
Like, I don't do basketball anymore, but I used to. And I saw the Mavericks win a title, so that was kind of cool because Dirk Nowitzki won in a title. Like, I'm glad he won at least one.
Yeah. Cuban's a great owner. I like Cuban.
Yeah, a lot of people don't, especially down here. But I'm like, why? Why do you hate him?
Technically, the Spurs and the Mavs got great ownership. Really do. Really even hands. But, yeah, I love Dirk. Love me some Dirk. That was some good times. But
Michael Finley, that was a good player.
I like a good analogy. Here's what it's like winning the World Series as the Rangers. If I went to prison in San Quentin and then basically got my ass beat and violated, and it was like, dude, you white collar crime, doesn't pay to do it. You just like 10, 15 years, you're just like taking it, be in the prison B, and then they go, we looked into your case, total confusion. You're exonerated. You're exonerated. You're out now. And you're like, whoa, that's awesome. I'm a free man now. And then you're free in the world. And then you walk out and get a scratch lotto ticket. It's like, oh, dude, you won $1 million. There's that story. And then there's the story where you just walk into the gas station and win $1 million. Both those dudes won $1 million, but the exoneration and the freedom plus the win is how I feel as a Rangers fan. That's my analogy. This is the best analogy I can think of for why it's so much better. Never talk shit, but all right. Is that a good analogy?
No, it makes perfect sense. Winning, like, you won the World Series, but you went through a bunch of bullshit, and instead of just being, it's like to me, winning the. I don't know where I'm going with this. I really don't. So I can't.
That's how it works.
I was onto something, but no, I understand. It's like okay. It's like you just. It's like this. I know what you're saying. Like, well, you walk outside, you go to the store, you go get out of the car, you find $100, and that's awesome. But at the same time, the other guy who has no gas in his car and doesn't have any money in his bank account, $500. That $100 is gonna mean way more to him.
Yeah.
It's similar, but like I said, I don't know where the fuck I was going with that.
That's kind of what it is. I guess it's just like one strike away, having it snatched out of your face. One strike away twice, really, in that series. You just snatched away from your face.
But see, yeah, one out away would have been different, but literally one strike away.
Just swing through. Just fucking miss the
ball. Because
ball.
Josh Freese hit that ball. That was him, right? You said earlier?
Yeah, Freese hit the one over, and
I watched, when I was looking up highlights or something one day, I watched that at bat, and dude, it was brutal.
I was so ready to win it that the way we lost Game 6 was such a mind screw. And I've been in baseball games and baseball tournaments where something happens and you like lose the rhythm. I actually didn't even care about. I knew we were going to lose Game 7. It makes me a terrible fan, but that's how hard accepting Game 6 was, being that close. Like I don't know. I knew we were screwed.
Sometimes I do remember. I was still in Dallas at the time, and the next day I was like, "Huh, what happened to that catch?"
Oh my god!
Because I got so many people. Just because I'm an asshole sometimes, and they're like, "Oh, what about the Rays?" I was like, "Hey, at least we weren't one out away from winning the whole thing, were we?"
Yeah, it's brutal. It ain't over till it's over. That's one thing it tells you about baseball. But all right, we'll take a break.
We'll move back, and then we'll come back and close out with your segment, and then closing thoughts.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right.
Everybody, the river. Hey! This is fucking Canada right here, man. Sure, I'm fucking getting rip roaring loaded alone on Canada Day. I don't fucking care. Like, I ain't alone. I'm part of like 39.5 million fucking people all together. So
let me crack open this Red Bull sugar-free here.
But Sager and all Spores and the boys did it. And don't ever forget, Nathan Eovaldi. Big game Nate. Ooh, that looks like a brewski, doesn't it?
It
looks
does.
exactly like a brewski.
But this is a sugar-free Red Bull. I usually drink Monster, but I'm not going to turn down a free caffeinated beverage.
Good stuff. All right, well, let's go some bumper music. We'll talk about some Major League Baseball standings and offensive and pitching rankings.
I believe you're number 3. What do you think? I think that works perfect. What do you think?
Let's check that out. Run around the league, folks. That's good teams right there. All right, why your team might not suck. Let's talk about the 500 Tampa Bay Devil Rays. Got a 500 ball club going down there in Tampa.
Hey, we swept the Mets this weekend. Great series, by the way. We almost blew it. I think it was like the second game where we were up 9-3, and the Mets ended up coming back, not winning, but coming back close. I think it was like 9-7, 9-8.
Yep. But
then Randy Arozarena hit the dinger. Randy land night. I think I said it earlier, but I'll say it again. Anyway, sorry to interrupt you there.
No. That's all. Yeah, this is for you interrupting me for the banter. But you know, it's funny. I was going to shit on sabermetrics because I'm very about it. I think it's very interesting, and it's a good way to. I understand what they're trying to do, value players, and look at different ways to manage arms and all this other stuff. So understanding it before I pooped on it, well, I'm glad I took those courses from Society for American Baseball Research. So it was good education. But to poop on it, there's also I don't need sabermetrics to tell me Mookie Betts is fucking awesome and you need to give him a long-term contract, which the Red Sox apparently didn't want to do. So, yeah, I mean, sabermetrics can maybe help you find a diamond in the rough possibly, but it ain't going to, like, fix the fact that you're like, okay, yeah, Freddie Freeman's a good hitter. Or whatever it is, you know. So there's metrics out there, but Yordan Alvarez rakes, Corey Seager rakes, this sort of stuff. So it helps value guys, especially in their free agent year. But your 500 Tampa Bay Devil Rays, here's a point where sometimes statistics make sense. They are 16th in the league offensively. So 500 team, absolutely middle of the road. But what's crazy is how dog shit your pitching is.
It's not good. Not good.
You're 26th in the league in wins above replacement as a team, which is pretty bad because you're only beating out Colorado, Chicago White Sox, Houston, whose pitching just absolutely pooped on themselves.
Houston is what? I think 12-24 or some shit. They're terrible.
It's their pitching's letting them down. They got some really good offensive leaders still, and Bregman's not even hitting that good, and they're still like crushing. But Toronto, worst pitching according to this metric. Interesting numbers in here. I have like left on base percentages, ground ball percentages. Then you have fielding independent pitching, which you guys aren't terrible, the worst at, but the best pitching in the league right now is Philly, by far. Philadelphia, leaving dudes on base, high ground ball percentage. And they got average velos, too, of your staff. The hardest throwing staff really is, on average, Oakland. Isn't that crazy? Average about 95 miles an hour. That's crazy.
Still some heat.
That's some heat. But most everybody's like 94.
They have a stat for average mile per hour.
Yeah.
That's insane.
For
dude.
team average heat, everybody's pretty much 94. That's like the league average. Like it doesn't really vary. There's no 95s. There's some 94. But technically this also averaging almost 95 miles an hour as a staff as the Chicago White Sox. That doesn't mean shit. That's why you can look at sabermetrics all over the place, and it doesn't make any sense. So like the Colorado Rockies and White Sox will be like leading in something, and they're the worst team ever. So that metric's just out the window. Dodgers pitching staff is top 10. Seattle's pitching staff 5th. Mets, the Washington Nationals pitching isn't terrible. And again, this depends on. This ain't win-loss. This is just basically expected wins above replacement on performance. So, I don't know, you know. These Minnesota's heating up. But I got that. What did I do with my standings? I had my standings here.
Oh, while you're looking for your standings,
Yeah.
I forgot to mention this earlier. Over this weekend, Kevin Cash became the all-time wins leader for Rays managers.
Who do you beat out, Madden?
Joe Madden. So Joe Madden had 754.
Yeah.
And as of right now, as of May 7th, 2024, Kevin Cash has 757, and obviously he's going to go above that. But I thought that was kind of cool.
What's your take on the Brewers? Brewers got that Jackson. I forget his other last name, but Jackson's a big prospect there, heating up with the Brewers, and they're leading the NL Central at 20 wins and 14 losses.
The Brewers are good.
They are pretty doggone
Now,
good.
Speaking of wins and losses, if you remember correctly, we both said before the season started that the Giants would be sneaky good.
Yeah.
And as of right now, that's not the case.
Yeah, no.
Our predictions were wrong.
Brewers 4th in team batting, but their pitching sucks. They are 23rd in MLB. This is just going by wins above replacement, really. So it's kind of a catch-all. And it's Fangraphs. All wars are different, but Fangraphs has them ranked that way. Phillies, their pitching is near the top, as is their batting, and that is reflected, and they are on top of the National League East with a 25-11 record and a plus 45 run differential and a 6-game win streak. So there's that. The Rangers found themselves atop the AL West after some middling. They've won 3 in a row. 20-16 run differential. It's 26. Your Cleveland Guardians, very good ball club.
They're a top AL team.
Top of the Central. And they're pitching 12th in the league, but their batting is so they're basically slightly above average in both. They're 13th in pitching and 12th in batting. So just a good ball club there. Look out for them Guardians. Oakland's 17-19. They've lost 2. They were 500 for a time. Yankees, everybody wanted to poop on Brian Cashman, but he's sitting in the catbird seat now. But they're cursed, though. Yeah. Right? They're cursed. I mean, are you an Aaron Boone fan? I mean, there's tons of video on it. He's always on the new, like sports channels all the time. What do you think of Aaron Boone? What's the Dutch Chattahoochee take?
There's two takes on him. As a player, I didn't mind him. As a manager, I don't care for him.
Yeah.
Cause I don't know. I don't have a reason why. I just never felt anything about him. Like I don't care for him.
Yeah.
You know? I don't hate the guy. I just don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying?
Boone's an interesting one because so his dad was a major leaguer, Bob Boone.
Didn't he have another brother? Aaron?
Yeah, Brett Boone.
Brett Boone, yeah.
Brett Boone, probably, maybe, possibly. I don't know if it ever came out. Juiced. He had some insane numbers with the Mariners. Insane.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
And he wasn't that big of a dude, but he was crazy. So maybe, I don't know. I'm not accusing, but that's what I always kind of thought when the number jumped there.
What was funny about Aaron Boone is he, recently he got ejected because a fan said something. I don't know if you've seen that video.
Yeah, that was a good one.
John Boy did a good breakdown of that. It was hilarious. But yeah
John Boy does a good lip reading breakdowns.
Yeah, those are great.
But so we looked at like Cal Ripken's dad. I forget the senior Ripken. Cal Ripken, Hall of Famer, awesome. But Billy Ripken, when we looked at his minor league stats on one of our shows way back when, we were like, dang, dude, this is some hardcore nepotism. Like, he should have not been promoted from A-ball to AA. His numbers at AA should not have got you promoted to AAA. And his numbers at AAA probably would have not have got anybody else didn't have a last name of Ripken promoted to the show. So, like, Billy Ripken's minor league career... and he had one good year in there, maybe in the pros even, that was kind of acceptable, but you're like, every other guy in the Baltimore organization was probably super pissed about Billy Ripken's promotions, would be my guess. But Aaron Boone, I don't remember and of course they were in different organizations. Bob Boone was a Kansas City Royal forever, so Aaron Boone was going through different organizations. So I think he was a meritorious player. I didn't know maybe how fiery of a personality he is, but maybe he is. But I feel like he's playing a role. I don't think he's being genuinely himself as the manager, and that's why they're cursed. But I could be wrong. Maybe that is who Aaron Boone is. He's just this dude who gets ejected all the time, and he's a super fiery manager. But Yanks are doing great, I'll tell you that. Boston ain't terrible. They have a huge positive run differential. For a 19-16 team, they have a plus 41 scored more runs than against. That's a pretty big spread. I mean, some of the first place teams only have like a plus 20 differential. Brewers, top of their division, plus 20 differential. The biggest differential is Dodgers. They're just killing people. Plus 68 run differential. That means you're crushing people. Is Kershaw injured this year? Is he officially retired? What's going on with Kershaw? Do you know?
He's not. I don't think he's retired, but he's hurt. Yeah,
he's just hurt.
I would say typical soldier. What's this called? Your shoulder? Shoulder. Yeah, I can't speak because you know me. But yeah. So my wife brought up an interesting point the other day.
Yeah.
She's like, "How come you never hear about softball pitchers getting hurt and having Tommy John?" I was like, "Huh."
Was interesting.
That's interesting. I guess because they throw with a more natural motion, where baseball pitchers is obviously unnatural.
I don't even know if that's natural underhand. That's hard to do.
But yeah.
And probably less innings. Softball games are shorter.
Yeah.
And your season is like college seasons. There's not this. The major league schedule is brutal. It's like 6 games a week kind of thing. So the workload's a little bit different. But I don't know. I think the softball, the Tommy John is more of an elbow surgery. And because you're locked out as you go underhand,
Yeah.
I think there might be a lot of rotator cuff surgery for softball players.
Could be true. Yeah, I want to look that up. I get home.
It could be. Washington Nationals, not terrible. And they got some good prospects up there. Their shortstop's really good. But really, near the top of the league in pitching is the Washington Nationals. In Cincinnati, also a 500 team with good pitching. I don't know. It's early. The jury's out. You can't start like the Rockies and the White Sox are and hope to make the playoffs. But I mean, the game tonight, Marlins versus the Dodgers. Marlins suck. They're 10-27.
Yeah.
And they just traded away they're probably their best hitter. So
The Marlins, man, are interesting because I don't know, they win the World Series, or they have good years, but then they have really shitty ones in between.
yeah,
You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, they're okay in between. They just totally suck.
yeah.
But that's okay. Give them a couple years, they'll win the World Series or some shit. They made the playoffs last year, I think, right? As a wild card team,
Yeah, I think so, which is amazing.
which is amazing.
Some really interesting offensive numbers here. So ISO is a weird stat, but really when you see ISO, the ISO, that's talking about your power hitting, like doubles, triples, homers. And the best in the league at ISO is actually Baltimore. They have a 200 ISO, which is pretty doggone high. On base percentage, always a fun one to look at. Very correlative to winning baseball games, and the best in the league is the Dodgers at on base percentage. Next best is going to be your San Diego Padres. How about that? Philly, high on base, high on slugging. I don't know. Interesting teams. No real surprises in here. One surprise for a team is Kansas City could be doing better. Where's Kansas City here? Middle, they're 21-15, and they're kind of shooting themselves in the crank in a lot of situations. Highest K rate. Who do you think's the shittiest team at striking out?
What team do I think is the worst?
Yeah.
I want to say the Rays.
Rays ain't that bad offensively.
Just threw that name out.
But, yeah, Cincinnati strikes out.
Cincinnati.
Highest strikeout percentage.
Because for a while, the Rays were only getting singles, right? Only hitting singles. So I was like, maybe the Rays do suck at striking out.
Yeah, Cincinnati. Also, highest K rate, lowest team batting average. And the lowest on base percentage, which is why you suck, is the Chicago White Sox. Your fucking team on base percentage is 270. That's so bad.
It's not
Your
good.
your team batting average is 208. Good Lord, White Sox. You got to do something over there. It's just bad. White Sox fans are in for it. Let's see if there's any other funny stats I can throw at you. Who's giving up the long ball the most? Toronto gives up the most long balls by far. Oh, my goodness gracious. The Mets give up the fewest. Wow, they're really, really low. 6% of the time, Mets give up homers. On fastballs, rather. The Toronto's getting smoked. Interesting. Left on base, interesting stat. Who do you think leaves the most people on base? What pitching staff strands the most dudes?
What's the Mets?
It's the close. It's the Royals stranding the most people.
Where do the Mets rank on that list?
Mets, they're middle of the road. They're 69%.
Because I remember during the Rays series, the Mets left quite a few people on base.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, maybe they are. Maybe they're up there. I'm just going to shout that name out and hope I'm fucking right.
These stats are kind of interesting. But Minnesota, good Lord, they're striking out a lot of people. They're the only major league team that's averaging 10 Ks per 9 innings. The next best is like 9.5, and everybody else is like 8s and 7s. Minnesota's got some gassers. Did you see the entrance for their reliever?
Who?
The Minnesota reliever.
No.
It's like Duran or whatever it is. So remember when everybody's head exploded for the Edwin Diaz?
Yeah, the trumpets.
Tiny trumpet or whatever,
Yeah.
like that. Everybody's like, oh, that's the greatest entrance ever. Well, Minnesota, they go balls out for their closer. They turn off the lights in the stadium, start like pulsing them, playing this like wild Tejana music or whatever. It's a pretty awesome entrance.
I think the opener should have a fucking cool intro.
Yeah, everybody should
The
have
home opener.
Yeah.
And so if your home team and your pitcher is starting, like, so you'll obviously have the because you pitch first, right?
Yeah.
So it's like once you introduce your lineup, she's like, now starting for your whatever, and then whatever music fucking hits, that'd
Yeah.
be fucking sick as fuck, dude.
The closer one's pretty cool. That'd be
Yeah.
crazy. It'd be exhausting if you did it for like every guy. It's like, I want the lights to shut down
You know
every
what?
time
You know
I
what? Like,
come up
you
to
know
the
what
plate.
reminds me of like a closer with the music and stuff. It reminds me of like in wrestling where you're getting
Yeah.
you're getting attacked, and all of a sudden some random music. Oh shit! Who the
Yeah,
fuck? Like,
and the
music
glass
hits.
breaks and Stone Cold comes in. Yeah, that's sweet.
That's exactly what it's for. Kind of all right. It's on. But you know what I would do too to be funny?
Yeah.
You're down fucking 12-0. Your closer comes in like to relieve or something. Dun 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 dun. Music hits and shit.
Honestly, if a closer ever uses Stone Cold's like glass break in his music, that'd be the best closer entrance ever.
Dude. I don't know. Inner Sandman was a good one for Rivera on the Yankees.
Yeah, that's a good
Welcome
one
to
too.
the Jungle. The guy Gagne from the Dodgers. He had a
And Trevor Hoffman was back in black, I think, right?
you like
had
you.
some
I feel like
AC/DC.
you need like a classic rock song. Even though I hate classic rock, I feel like for some reason that kind of that style of music hits with closing. But I was gonna say something and I cannot remember what it was. Oh well.
That's my segment. I don't have much college. UTSA cooled off. I have one thought on college baseball.
What's that?
Here's my thought. So, winding up your regular conference play. And to get to the College World Series, you got to get to the regionals. And to get to the regionals, you have to win the conference tournament. You have to get an at-large bid. If you're UTSA, you're going to get butt fucked. I don't mind saying that. Some people say Blue Falcon. I like to say Blue Falcon sometimes. But certain teams have to know that if you got the Blue Falcon previously, that's how the selection committee's tiny little walnut brain already works, and you're going to get it again unless you're like 50-9 and you beat like a bunch of top-ranked teams. UTSA's record is not that. You're 27-20 or whatever you are. Yeah, you won the series against ECU, but the resume is not an at-large resume. So your entire focus is the conference tournament. You have to win the conference tournament. That's it. So, and you're in the conference tournament. You're already in it. You're in it. That's why Tulane, who had like a horrible 40-loss season, was like won their conference tournament, made the dance. So you have a couple series left. I believe there's 2 series left, maybe just one. They lost. They won 1, lost 2 to Wichita State, but rest your pitchers, right? Because the only thing that really matters for postseason play at the college level isn't these next immediate wins on the weekends. And I know you want to win games, but if there's any dudes with any arm stuff, just like, dude, I'm resting. I'm gonna have your arm be the strongest, highest velo nastiness for the conference tournament, and we're just pitched by committee and tons of rest, get in tons of playing time for all the sophomores, and just get everybody up to max physical capability all in. Now, rest doesn't always do that. Rest can work against you and you lose your rhythm. But if there's sore arms or tendonitis and our shoulders are hurting or a little bit of pinch or whatever it is, dudes are pitching through pain in college, especially guys that get high use. Just give them a weekend off and get those arms ready for the conference tournament. That's all I'm saying for any college program out there. If you know you're going to get screwed on at-large bid, get ready for the conference tournament by resting key components. That's all I'm saying. That's my thought for the week. But I don't really know what's going on in college baseball. I just know conference stuff is wrapping up Lone Star Conference tournaments, I think, is happening right now. Lubbock Christian, all those dudes are in it. But that's the college baseball runaround.
Texas State, once again, is playing okay.
Win the conference tournament. Listen to Turnstile. Rest. You got some nasty dudes that rest them, and just be the Cinderella story that shocks the world because you're just all firing on all cylinders.
Well, like I said, conference tournament is super important. You can have a shit season, but if you win that thing, it can turn around.
Win that muff.
Because you can win a conference tournament, come out of that tournament, hot, win it, right? Get into the World Series tournament, whatever.
Get to the dance.
And if you're still hot, go and win the whole thing.
Yeah, win your conference. That's what they say. So, yeah, I think the selection committees suck, but technically nobody's ever happy. Whatever team gets left out, there's always going to be people griping. So I'll be a griper. But I really thought UTSA's resume had them in 2 years ago. Not the case. But this year, I think they got a good team. I think their some pitchers are really starting to pitch good. But you got dudes like Ruger Riojas, who maybe the arm needs a rest. I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
But Rangers, top of the AL West, probably because they consult with us. I don't know. Any updates on Nakatomi? Did you go to Japan last week?
He didn't invite me. I was busy with something too, so I'm glad he didn't invite me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't want the embarrassment of. Here we go again.
No show last week because of children not allowing me to sleep.
This show should come out this week. Not that it matters who's listening to it, because if you are listening to it, it's out. But
yeah,
like I said, Wednesday and Thursday, the semester ends on Friday. Wednesday and Thursday is my last 2 days at my internship. So after that, I will be free. I thought about doing a live stream yesterday, like a Dutch Chattahoochee live stream.
Do it.
But I didn't do it. I did not do it. I don't know why.
Just do it. You should just do it. I got a text from Lewis, the great Lewis Solis. I got to call that dude about broadcast ideas for the Seguin River Monsters. He's getting his mind into it. He goes, I got some ideas.
Yeah.
And that dude is the master of OBS, so greatest producer.
I think this year, it's going to be a lot of people in there. So I don't know what's going to happen. Because I know they brought out a lot more new people.
There's more new people. I definitely want to give the Texas State, if those guys are going to show up, little broadcast majors and stuff like that. Give them some time.
I'll be sure to have my Texas State hat on.
Get your Texas State on, yep. And should be good. They're signing some good players out there. So another wild summer.
Yeah.
All right, buddy.
That was another good show.
Was it?
I think so.
My depression is kicking in. I'm getting so psychologically down. The only thing I can say is hopefully we show some clips. Well, I'm not saying hopefully, but you can show some clips, because once we get done with the show, I'm going to give Dutch Chattahoochee a tour of one of my major woodworking projects.
I will. You know what? That'll be the opener. I will record you on my camera and put some of that in the beginning.
There you go. Okay, let's go look at my woodworking.
All right. So till next time.
Carpentry. We out. Carpentry. Carpentry is the way to sanity, to hold on.